is personally hitting you, everything else goes wrong. If you look at the government today and you can see so many things that was done right, and then you see something like Russia, and then, it doesn't really matter who should be responsible. The blame goes, in the direction in which you feel it should go.
Right.
And, you know, it's just really a challenge
Yeah.
for persons because some people don't have generators, some people don't have fans, some people have those small generators and they can't operate them, or they need to move them far from their homes and where they live. You can't have it outside. Uh, but we provide all these generators for so many people, and that thing is such a danger to people's lives. So that those instructions need to make sure that they're being followed with persons who need that small engine generator for keeping their fridge open. I mean, cool, or other small things, your cell phone that needs to charge, your wheelchair that needs to charge, items like that, that's life threatening. It's important to you, if you have one of those, to use that with precaution.
Okay. Well,
So,
go ahead.
go ahead. You go.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
when we look at the registration, there's the to register, you need to go, and I would ask everyone to, if you have a pen and paper, because I'm going to give some information. To register, you go to vi.gov/ADA, or you can call 340-778-7992, or you could dial 340-473-1848. If you want to do in-person accommodations, you go to UBI Innovation Center. That's on Cynthia Moore. And then St. Croix, we have
Feedback
the
on the mic.
Association for Independent
That mic
Living,
there.
and they're on St. Croix. So if you want to be attending in person, please call, register, so we know where we will be accommodating you and making sure that we have the space to come. and I really appreciate the questions, and I always feel ask questions. Ask questions because my mind have so much going on upstairs that your question is something probably that we want to talk about.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
You're
And we'll
welcome.
be in touch. Thank you.
Good thing.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. Good things going on from the struggle. It's good to see the recognition and celebration and everything.
Well, it's 36 years since the signing of the ADA. 36 years. Okay, so it is something to be celebrated. Although we still got to fight. Because there's still infractions. There's still, the present landscape in Washington trying to get rid of the ADA. I mean, it's always a struggle. Always a struggle. Always a struggle. There's a fight. We had over at I was about to say UBI. VIU said yesterday we had an orientation on mobility informational session, which it went pretty well. We had the Lions Club there. We had the young lady there, Miss Hernandez, who is the orientation and mobility instructor. We had persons from the I place Pleasant Ophthalmology. They were there. We had persons from Independent Living. We had the Lions Club there. I mean, we had people. Vidco was there talking about diabetes and how it will affect your eyes if it gets bad enough. All that kind of stuff. So we're hoping to do a similar session again. I said next year. Somebody said they want it later on in the year. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if they want it done and they plan it, we'll make it happen.
All right.
I want to remind the public that VIU said under the umbrella of UVI offers to the public the ICANN Connect program. The ICANN Connect program, better known as the Deaf Blind Equipment Distribution Program, is funded under the FCC. If you or your loved one have considerable hearing and vision loss, yes, Doug, hearing and vision loss, not talking too much. Okay? Hearing and vision loss. The ICANN Connect program is for you. You can visit icanconnect.org or give us a call at 340-692-4267 to find out more about this program. VIU said also have low interest loans that you can sign up for if you need to put a ramp on your house, you need hearing aids, that kind of stuff. You can give us a call as well, 340-692-4267. I think the interest rates are about 4%. Actually, it's 8%, but VIU said pays 4% of the interest rates. So you have it as low as 4% interest rate on whatever loan you take, whether it is to get some hearing aids, build a ramp on your house, or whatever accessibility modification you want to add on to your house. VIU said can assist with a small, low interest loan. Give us a call, 340-692-4267. VIU said working for you.
All right. Yeah. Well, when they start giving out them free iPhone for those of us who don't talk too much, then I'll say it working for me too. Okay.
Well, I could get you one without a mic.
Without a mic.
You gotta text only.
You so funny, Jared. You so funny. All right. Y'all see why I gotta deal with it here? Okay. All right.
Text only. I could add it specifically for you.
All right.
Yeah, he can't text. He got text.
All right. I see somebody is trying to reach us. So let our rusty trusty engineer patch them through in a minute. Let's see if they got it. Look like they got it. Yeah, Jared. This is.
Yeah. So
I guess I've been away too long.
you been away too long?
I've been away too long.
Well,
Um,
you know,
technical issues here.
you've been away, but that don't mean things change.
Yeah.
You know. So, what?
Same song.
Singing the same song. So I demonstrated the Be My Eyes app yesterday.
Okay.
During the informational session, because I spoke a little bit about assistive technology as well, and in keeping with the theme of being visually impaired and mobility, I asked the group. I said, "What's the one thing that you don't leave home without?" Somebody in the group said, "Your phone." I said, "Yes, exactly, your phone. Some people might forget it home, but some people that phone is part of their body." So with that being said, I showed them how the various apps work, like Seeing AI. Seeing AI is a camera for the blind that reads text. So you can read a document, or if you have it in the
that word detection mode, you can just open it up, hold it in front of like a letter or a postal thing, and it will read the like when you get a package,
Yeah.
it will read the label, the postal label for you just by holding the phone in front of it. Or you can read the letter, the name on the letters to make sure you have the right letter, stuff like that. That's what I do when I go to the post office. I use my phone to make sure um, they put the right letter in my mailbox. Cause,
You know, with
uh-huh.
this thing called AI and robotics, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so I could just put my phone toward steak and potatoes, and next thing you know, I gonna have a meal in front of me. What do you think?
Well, if that have started happening, I would be glad. Cause then me ain't gotta go in the kitchen to cook
You
nothing.
know?
I put that bucket to cook. I put that bucket to work.
All right. Well, I
It,
gotta remember next time I have a barbecue, I gonna recruit you as a chef.
no. You don't want to eat from a blind man. You might eat burnt food.
You think so? No, man. Your other senses is too good. You can hear when it's searing too much, and you can smell it. And I know it's gonna be good. Okay.
You might eat burnt food. You can.
I trust you with the grill before I trust you with the keys to the car.
And I just about to say they need to make a phone that could drive for you.
All right, Tom.
I remember I read somewhere about a few years ago that Apple was coming up with a self-driving car.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess they
No,
stopped.
they got out of that business.
They got out of that business.
Yeah, and in fact, self-driving cars are having their own share of problems. Of course, them Teslas that kill people already, and
Mm-hmm.
they're so busy being fancy,
Mm-hmm.
that they have these pull-in door handles so the outside the car is smooth. I mean, that's style, right? The problem
Yeah.
is that these things get in an accident and
Then they jump.
and nobody could get the car open.
Hmm.
You know, craziness. But anyhow, folks, keep your eyes open out there. If you live around where people have antennas and stuff like, Yeah, keep your eyes open because it got folks out here who using some kind of strange um, economics, mathematics, or whatever against your right to have access to the people who are going to be representing you. And I say access, the radio stations, the TV stations, the internet, all of these things are access. And when anyone is working to diminish the ability of a competitor, so to speak, from being able to serve you, you have to stand up and say, hey, nothing to go so. Okay, if you don't stand up, they're going to do these kind of things and feel they could get away with it. All right?
But let me ask you a question. Ain't meddling with a registration tower a federal offense?
But this is what I'm saying. The FBI involved. No, I want to see. I want to see if they're so stupid to go back again. I want to see if they're so stupid. Okay, some people said stupid, but
Sometimes that's why you just say I have a cruel way of justice, right?
I am not going to go there with you.
You say I have a cruel, but you know what? I feel right. We need to do this. All these people are like that want to run for office. You need to line them up by the fort and get one of them same tools and start from one end
Go down to the
and go down. And the one them that stand up, the 15 that stand up, you put them in the office.
Then they
Yeah.
protect the heat.
Yeah, them that could take that soaking, yeah, they go to be in office.
Okay. Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some link between blindness and cruelty? sometimes, sometimes you just.
Because I want to know what kind of honey pot they in there.
Mhm.
Because all these people running, like, what happened? It's sugar, honey, money, what is in there, so, you know? They going, they go coming and they running, they running, they running. This body running, that body running, you know? And we having issues that ain't going away. I mean, I watch, you know, from the time I was a teenager, watching the landscape of the legislature and the political arena.
Okay, line one is new.
Okay. Let me get him in because finish your thought. I'll bring him in. Okay.
You know, and I used to ask myself as a teenager, how can
Hello?
a man,
Yeah. Hold on.
how come somebody that I can't vote for affecting my weird over here is employed? How is that possible?
How is it possible? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you one of the things you have to do to answer that question. You have to actually go and look at some Supreme Court cases. Okay. You got to remember, Jared. There is this mentality that somehow or the other, when you jump on a ship and say, and going to see what they're out there, that when you get there, you find things out there that you discover them. They didn't exist before. And that they're savage and need to be civilized.
The whole they said we are Indians, they discovered the internet.
Well, so
I watch that here and I had a bit of a laugh with that.
right, but to answer your question,
I'll end by saying this.
Mhm.
Victory 66 was not a victory. It was a travesty.
but you talking gibberish to me because I'm not familiar with what you call in Victory 66.
That election in 1966, when they called victory.
Oh well, okay. Well, you know, the reality is, you're part of a nation that's not perfect. Anyhow, Mr. Names, go ahead.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your hair.
You hear it? What you running for now? What you running for now?
Yeah, no, how you running for the hair?
I thought you called to tell me you're running for governor.
Me? That's me, my boy. Anyway, I just want to pick up via USEF and ask those that are in need of its services to do so. However, the frightening thing with funding for those that need help is this big billions of dollars in Medicare fraud. I mean, how could people fraud money that's needed for people that need the money? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Why would they do that?
well, you say how, you say how, okay,
Uh-huh.
and I gonna tell you easy,
Okay, well,
Easy.
apparently so.
easy.
And if you notice, the people that they caught for Medicare fraud was under the red flag.
Oh,
Well, it's
You know,
corruption is red, white, and blue.
I know, but
Okay.
but every time they hold somebody, it's not a blue, it's a red.
Yeah, but they don't give it the publicity. When they talk about for instance, illegal voting, okay,
Is that
you want, every time they catch somebody,
a Republican?
9 out of 10 times it's a Republican. Okay,
true.
the stats are there. The stats are there. I'm not. This is not being partisan or anything like that. But it's about the media. It's about the media and what is emphasized or not emphasized. But I said easy, and let me just put that in perspective. We saw what happened in COVID. They set up a situation where all of these people ran these frauds and collected millions of dollars, and maybe 1% of them got maybe just one of them 1% of them got prosecuted and so forth and so on. Okay,
All right.
okay, that's how I see. They could sit.
But I mean, when you look at the election, what was it, 20, Trump's first election, that he is blaming every Jesus thing of wrongdoing, and the Democrats had to recheck and recheck so many times, spending so much money, and no wrongdoing was found. I mean, what does he want?
Okay,
You want them to find the votes.
empty barrels make the most noise. Yeah, well, Mr. Nibs, and the more you study it, there are a couple of things going on. First of all, the man have a following, and anything he is. Well, what I'm saying is that he have a following, and everything he don't like, they don't like. Everything he like, they like, and that's just how they operate. It's like a cult following, okay, and a cult following, and it looks too much like everything that led up to Nazi Germany, as far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is, okay. But there's something that I figured out, and maybe I'm kind of slow. Most folks aren't really paying attention to what's going on. All of the mega mergers and everything else, all the people buying up the media companies, the move toward oligarchy. Right now, it appears that America as we know it will no longer exist within the next 2 years, because it will be run by the private sector. They are so arrogant to think that they could do it better. That is what's coming. All the Larry Ellisons and all of these people out there who buying up everything. There's a method to the madness of what's going on here, and are kind of arrogant. So when you hear them say that the people are losing faith in government institutions, okay, because that was one of their favorite things, right?
Right.
Okay. What they're really saying is that we should run it now.
All right.
Okay. So the tip of the spear just happens to be the individual that's in there now. the amount of corruption that's going on in terms of steering federal funds. I mean, the whole thing with the pond and the algae and everything. Scientifically, we know what's going on there. That's yours. Hold on. Okay. We know what's going on there, and the reality is that so many of the people just looking the other way. So the man who is supposed to look out for the little man is busy fleecing the whole country, and I just watching this in amazement.
Well, I hear you loud and clear, and what comes to my mind is the one world order.
You know, that's a nice catchy phrase. That's a nice catchy phrase, but even it's more nuanced than that. Okay, it's a little bit more nuanced than that, and you know, people grab onto these phrases, but you got to actually look at the gears that are turning and what's going on to see. The bottom line is we're moving toward an oligarchical existence here in America, and you're going to see the influence of money. People talking about Epstein and everything else. They ain't seen nothing yet. They ain't seen nothing yet. Every time you talk about from Newt Gingrich back in family values coming forward, who are the people that are getting caught in these scandals 9 times out of 10? The same people that were talking about family values and whatever other values coming forward. So you think about that. You think about that. Epstein is just a reflection of an ecosystem that's there supporting it. Look at what's going on with Epstein and the survivors. These people refuse to meet with the survivors. They refuse to publish all the documents or whatever, so forth and so on. The reality is you got to understand that from the leadership on down, they're protecting people. This is a big business and a big practice. Look at what was going on in the Catholic Church. Okay, how many years it took to bring out, and it's not about being for or against the Catholic Church. They had a problem, an internal problem that they're just beginning to come to deal with after so many people's lives were ruined. Well, trafficking of young girls is just or even more prevalent than what is coming out now and people are trying to deal with in terms of, let's say, the church. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, this thing we call pedophiles is something that is more of a 20th century term, because the behavior that was there before then, okay, it's like you're trying to create change. You know, change is always fiercely resisted. Anyhow, we're getting close to that time when the marshal going to come here and either show an eviction notice or a cease and desist and running them out or something or the other.
But let me say this quickly before she comes.
Okay, good thing.
She don't reach.
Young girls, young boys as well.
Well, yes, and you're right to say that, because you know it's a problem in both ways. Yes, you're exactly right to say that.
It is more than sickening. It is scandalous. So, anyway, we'll come back after the 9 o'clock hour.
All right.
It is now the top of the hour, 9 a.m. in the morning in our studios. We're going to take a break. We got to pay some bills, you know, keep the lights on, keep the mics on. And when we come back, we have some guests. So,
hey, Josh.
we'll be back
Hey,
after
Dad.
these
You
messages.
should tell people that if they want their sales to increase and their business to succeed, they should advertise on WSTX AM and FM.
That's a great idea. I got the perfect way to say it. Give me a second to organize my thoughts. Hey, everybody. If you want your sales to increase and your business to succeed, you should advertise at WSTX AM and FM.
That's pretty good, Josh.
Thanks, Dad. For more information, email us at WSTXradio@gmail.com or call us at our new number at 340-422-9789. That's 340-422-WSTX.
This is Donna Fred Gregory, Democratic candidate for governor. Healthcare delivery at our hospitals is a concern affecting all of us. Both the Wang F. Louis Hospital on St. Croix and the Roy L. Snyder Hospital on St. Thomas provide roughly $40 million in uncompensated care annually. This revenue shortfall affects everything: the standard of patient care, the ability to buy essential medical supplies, and the capacity to recruit and maintain qualified medical staff. Within the first 100 days of the Donna and Rodney administration, I will appoint a special committee to submit a state plan amendment to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services seeking hospitals. Enough is enough. Time for results. On August 1st, vote Donna Fred Gregory for governor and Rodney Moorhead for lieutenant governor.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
Starting to feel the heat? Caribbean Cooling is your trusted oasis for all things air conditioning on St. Croix. With a forecast predicting a sizzling summer and an active hurricane season ahead, it's time to prepare. But don't wait until it's too late. At Caribbean Cooling, we've got you covered with top-notch AC brands like Gree, Mitsubishi, Train. Whether it's chilling at home or staying productive at work, our units will keep you cool through the hottest days and the stormiest nights. Caribbean Cooling is licensed and insured and offers maintenance for all air conditioners. When was the last time you had your air conditioner serviced or had it inspected? Please call to schedule your complimentary estimate today. Visit us today at our location in Peters Rest, right across from Cost You Less. When it comes to staying comfortable, we're the coolest choice in town. Caribbean Cooling. We make sure you keep cool. Call us today, 340-773-2126.
This is Clifford A. Joseph Sr., asking for your continued support and vote on Election Day. In these unprecedented times, the Virgin Islands needs focused, tempered, demonstrated leadership, committed to serving and providing practical solutions. During my first term in office, I have been successful in enacting Act Number 8991, legislation that closes a tax loophole that will generate an estimated $1 billion. I repeat, $1 billion in gross receipt tax revenues during the disaster recovery rebuild. This measure not only shores up our economy, it balances the playing field between local and off-island contractors, ensuring fairness for all. On Election Day, I am humbly asking for your vote for focused leadership with the commitment to serve. Vote Clifford A. Joseph, number 2, paid for by the committee to elect Clifford A. Joseph to the Senate.
Tire and Battery sells American-made Deca batteries for your heavy equipment, generator, boat, or vehicle. Don't be left stranded. Deca batteries have up to a 3-year warranty and perform better than any other battery in this climate. Ask for Deca batteries by name. You deserve the best. They are the most trusted, longest-lasting batteries sold on St. Croix. Stop by our shop or call us at 778-5962 for pricing and availability. We have the largest inventory of batteries on St. Croix, so you get the exact fit you need.
HH Tire and Battery. HH Tire and Battery. For service that you can trust.
More continuous music variety. AM 970 WSTX.
Watch now. Image. We back again. We got another little quiz for you. Aye. You thought it was good the first time? Man, we had so much fun, we could do it again. Hello, my people, how you doing today? It's been a long time coming, what I have to say. Look at our culture, things are not the same. Let's not sit down and do nothing while it goes down the drain. Please help me. Let's support the masqueraders, the musician and mass makers. All the way. Look around, the hearts are dying. We We must prevent this from happening. Start today. Fight for your culture, work for your culture, enjoy your culture. Together, worship your culture, learn from your culture, stay with your culture forever. When it comes to eating, I just feel so shame. All these European dishes, I just can't explain. What happened to fungi, dumpling and Johnny cake? Yam dashing and sweet potato, cassava and plantain. Help me. Callaloo fried fish to kuna. Wash it down with some brown soda. Or some lemonade. Sorrel, sour, sap, passion fruit. Salted voices and red bean soup. Crucian guava berry. Fight for your culture, work for your culture, enjoy your culture. Together, worship your culture, learn from your culture, stay with your culture.
All right, so here we go. Yes, folks, we got a house full in here. Jared here trying to set a boat too full, and he wanted to bail out and take the only emergency like vote that we have, and go down the road. But you know, hopefully he will be out here to walk on water when things get rough. Okay. Okay, so we're good. And folks, did you bring a copy of the flyer with you while you're at it? No.
But I emailed it to you, and I can email you another.
No, I got it. I got access to it here. Okay, so this is.
I will, Denise. I know you will.
I think I'm gonna talk loud enough.
I'm gonna put my copy next to you, sir. No, I can stand. Doug can't.
Yeah. Okay, folks, we got a house full of people. Yeah. Okay. We got a house full of people. We got a representation from the. I wanted to say. I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say. But anyhow, yes, good things, folks. But I'm gonna give you all a chance to introduce yourselves and what you're doing. I'm going to repress my urge to run my mouth, as my co-host would say. Okay? So why don't you take charge of the microphones and tell us who you are and why you're here and what it is that the public should be all excited about.
Well, okay, I'm Denise Blanchette. I'm an instructor at UVI, and I'm the director of the upcoming play as part of our program, Summer Stage Under the Stars, and we're doing the play She Kills Monster by Kui Ween.
I am Clara Keeley. I have a degree in associates in acting. I just came on board because Denise asked me to help out with the fight choreography, and yeah. And I'm really just here to help support everything that they're doing here, as I am a regular CCT goer, and I'm really excited for this program that she's starting here at UVI.
Fantastic.
Hi, my name is Alexis Schrader. I'm a student at UVI, and I play Tilly in She Kills Monsters by Kui Ween.
You get up on the stage and you don't open up your mouth. What happened because you come here? Hmm?
No, I'm not too shy.
Sometimes actors are actually introverts.
Introverts?
Yes,
shy,
absolutely.
all this other
Absolutely.
good stuff. Okay,
Yep,
that's
yep.
fine. I understand. Okay, you're among friends. It's okay. Go ahead. Open up and let your voice be heard.
As I already said, I play Tilly in She Kills Monsters by Kui Ween. I also designed some of the weapons and the dragon heads that will be used in the play.
Fantastic.
All of them.
All of them. And they're incredible.
Oh.
It's incredible.
Hello, my name is Sakura Flores. I will be playing Agnes Evans in She Kills Monsters by Kui Ween.
And you're her sister.
And I play Tilly Evans' sister.
My name is Jay George. I play Miles in She Kills Monsters. I don't know. I just sort of. Oh yeah, I'm her boyfriend. Yeah.
In the play.
In the play. In the play.
So, and we have an old saying here about in your mind, well, in the public mind, you're a boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's what counts. Okay, so we've been talking all about She Kills Monsters, but you know what? The people out there listening, they want, what monster are you talking about? The Goodfoot woman or what? What monsters we talking about? Where does all come from? So you got to educate these people, because some of them are the people that was saying, put on that game, play too long, So tell them about it.
So you're going to talk about the storyline, right?
So
Pull it a little bit closer.
So She Kills Monsters is about Agnes Evans, as we follow her leaving her hometown as her sister has passed away, Tilly Evans. And basically through this journey she discovers a D&D campaign that her sister made. Using this campaign, it has a journey about self-discovery, but it's also very action-packed and it's full of comedy as well. And basically it's just about being a geek and also just finding your strength within.
Okay. You know, I'm loving this, right? Because I'm hearing this talk, right? And it's like you could see a generational thing here. Because when you say D&D,
yes,
mommy and daddy afraid to ask, what are they?
So D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, was made in 1974 by Gary Gygax, and it had its biggest uprise in the 80s, which now a new generation has taken over basically in the 2010s due to the big show Stranger Things. So it's brought a new generation within. But Dungeons and Dragons is basically a tabletop game, not your ordinary board game. It is a storytelling based game. It's based on imagination. So you have your dungeon master who basically pushes the story forward, and we have other players which are playing as characters that they designed. And basically there is a dice that is typically a 20-sided dice, and it's all about making your own characters. So we have like characters that are determined on race that gives you traits. So by race I mean like elves or dwarves or tieflings, and within that system there is a class as well, so you can be a wizard, a sorcerer, a monk that gives you abilities. It's just all about fantasy and how great of imagination you can have when it's storytelling.
It's referred to as high fantasy. So, and this play takes place. This is Azadi Knight. She's joining us. Come on, Azadi. She plays one of the. She plays Farah, the fairy, the crazy fairy, and these two also play evil cheerleaders. But the play takes place in the 1990s. So one part of the play is the music is great. It's like 90s music. So there's a lot of really driving 90s music throughout the play.
Okay. Jared, how our sound is out there? Okay, if you could check it on YouTube, just to make sure. Okay. Okay. So all of this, in got a hum? Tell me if it goes away. Anyhow, all of this fantasy and role playing and all this other good stuff. Where is this gonna be? Because I'm always in here talking about what's coming up in terms of plays. Tell me about this. Where is the stage?
Well, it's outside. We've decided to do a play outside because we don't really have we have a stage, but it's kind of small. So the stage will be set up outside. KSS Sound is kind of setting up the sound system, and Tom Guthrie built the set, and it's behind the Great Hall, in the yard behind the Great Hall, under these big trees. It's the perfect location for a theater. We just hope it doesn't rain that day. So and then there's kind of like a dip or a valley, and there's going to be an epic battle scene that takes place there. So it will be really quite interesting. So people have to understand that it's outside, and they need to bring lawn chairs and picnics.
All right. So it is different.
Yes.
Different. All right. And this is something that is open to the public.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So we put posters out on Facebook, and we put physical posters around. I'm sorry, we ran out of them, and I don't have one now, but it's $10. So it's cheap, and it's about no intermission. We don't believe in intermission, and it's going to be about an hour and a half.
All right.
7 p.m. Thank you.
All right, that's great. So, how did you get involved in all this? That's a loaded question.
Me?
But yes, you.
Oh, well, you know that I'm involved in theater at CCT, and I usually play old ladies and nuns and witches. And I'm an instructor at UVI. I teach English 101 to freshmen, and I said, we need to do plays here. So we did, Alexis was in the play we did at Christmas. We did it at the Sunny Isle Theater there. It was a really lovely Christmas show. And then I said, I think we need to do something in the summer. And so I wrote a grant, a VICA grant, and got some organizations to fund us. And I want to make sure I say that. So this is a VICA grant, based on a VICA grant. And then Marshall and Sterling helped, Coldwell Bankers, Bigney Properties, Beckstead Kaczynski Law, the Holt Law Firm, and Quality Market. So we raised a little bit of money to pay for the set and all that kind of stuff. And so then I had to round up some students. And I, like Jay, last year I kept saying, I think you should be in theater. And he goes, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then this year I said, I think you should be in theater. No, I'm not going to do that. And then he came to 2 shows at CCT and goes, okay, I'll do that. And then we didn't have enough people for the parts, so then I had to call my CCT friends. And who I've been in plays with and stuff, and somebody who's not here, who's also from CCT, is Danny Evans. So he's playing a funny character too.
And there's a strange coincidence in the process. I understand the CCT part, but a strange coincidence in the process that it's outdoors and where?
It's at the Albert E. Sheen campus, and it's behind kind of the Great Hall, where the Great Hall is to your left, and you go through that entrance that has the bathrooms and a couple classrooms. You go right through there, and you take a right, and there's big trees, big copse of trees, and that's where the stage is going to be.
Oh,
it's cool.
Right near by the lawn.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm asking these questions to draw it out, you see, because you guys are there every day for classes, so. It's like, hey, it's like home, it's like second nature, it's like the environment, it's where we live, kind of thing. And I just want the community to get a grasp of it, because the community knows we have UVI, and UVI has a fantastic website that has lots of information, and in PR, Lois, if she's still a person there, does a fantastic job of pushing stuff out. So if you meet her, tell her I said hi, and in that context. So I just wanted to give it that little bit of a holistic thing on what's going on down there at UVI, in our community at UVI. Yes, good thing. Okay, I wasn't a video game player, role-playing game player, that type of thing, but I'm very much aware of them. And Dungeons and Dragons has been around for a long time.
Before video games.
Before video games, in that context. And it's children's imagination is something that we have to always recognize that everything everything and anything can be built on imagination. All right, and life experiences. It's helpful to have these things. So now, who here is has ever experienced stage fright?
Never.
Okay, all right, good thing. We got one survivor in the house. Okay, they're leading a group, so we have survivors. She's leading the team. But no, that's great because people out there who are thinking that, yeah, that looks like fun and whatever, but I don't think I could do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't ever stop yourself from the opportunity. Think of it as like karaoke. We have a standing rule, nobody moves, so you can get out there and do what you need to do. All right? And the other thing too is acting means you got lines to learn. All right? Who has ever forgotten their lines?
Forgotten.
All right. Folks, I'm not in the picture right now, it's being screened. But my hand went up too, because every time I get up to any place with a microphone, it's like,
Let's forget everything.
everything, it's kind of like that. And one time, I made the mistake of thanking people, and I forgot someone, and I was totally disowned, and whatever. So
That's why I wrote this down, because I wasn't going to forget anything.
All right. Well, I just want to big up your sponsors. I call them sponsors, the people who are supporting you in what you're doing. And I'd like you to tell us again, a little bit slower,
Sure.
who they are.
Well, first of all, VICA, Virgin Islands Council of the Arts, and the National Endowment for Humanities. And then a number of local businesses, Marshall and Sterling, Coldwell Bankers, Bigney Properties, Begstead Kaczynski Law Firm, Joel and Jackie Holt, Quality Market.
All right, folks. And, as PBS would say to the people out there, and people like you, everyone
Yes,
who
please
shows
do
up,
that.
everyone who shows up, and people like you. Because showing up is such a big part of it. And it started with these folks here showing up. All right? So, what's the date again?
July 25th at 7 p.m.
Okay. All right. You hear that one, Jared? You think you want to go?
What's that?
The play, you think you want to go? Okay. Now I'm picking on him because whenever there's music, we go out to music from time to time, and there's been a couple of times that he's been seen streaming. Okay, and there's this controversy on this island about whether or not he can see or he can't see. In fact, one time, and I wish we could turn this into a play.
Oh, well, we probably could.
Because one time he was standing up in this establishment, and there were two people there who were arguing between themselves. He can't see. He could see. And eventually he went over and said, I may not be able to see, but I can hear. And a great relationship and conversation took over. So I throw that out to you because if there's some way that you can integrate the experiences of a visually impaired person, that's being politically correct. He's blind. Okay? Anyhow, if there's some way in which you can take advantage of his experiences and build them into something you do from time to time, keep that in mind. He has great imagination.
I think regardless of whether or not he see, the energy is something that is quite palpable in this play, and you can hear it in their voices when they do it, and you can hear it in the old classics that the music is gonna, it's gonna show.
Yeah, it's good music, man.
Yeah.
Sarah, I think we're going. Wait a second.
Yeah.
You game?
You game to laugh?
Oh, you will laugh.
What's the date again?
The
July
25th.
July
25th. Saturday at
Which is
7
a Saturday
7 p.m.
at 7 p.m. Okay? Okay?
I think I got a date on that day.
Okay, and make sure the dogs are fed and everything so that, the animal folks don't come after you. Okay.
Brother, I upgraded.
Oh, you upgrade? You got automatic feeder now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's better for the
I
dogs.
control it with my phone too.
All right. See, I tell you, we gotta do a play about this guy.
You know, one of the things that I think has been really nice about having members from experienced actors from CCT who have actually formal background in theater is how much the students learn. And I wonder if you guys could talk a little bit about like what you've learned about acting from working with the old folks. What kind of stuff have you learned about acting and movement and dance?
I mean, in terms of acting, like specifically with lines, I learned from, I think, Clara specifically, that it's good to like emphasize on certain words, especially if it's like keywords in a certain line.
What I've definitely learned is I feel like they've taught me a bit more being comfortable within the character itself and becoming the character. Just becoming loose within my surroundings for sure I've definitely learned from each single one of them. So thank you guys.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know what I learned. Today, actually, you were teaching me like a distance management thing with because when you're in the play, right, there's moments when we're fighting and a lot of moments when we're fighting. And so Clara was telling me not to be too close, right? You want to be at least an arm length distance away, and then you stand back a little bit, right? And you do the whole scene from there, so that when you wing a shot, because when I was doing this, I was over here winging a shot on you.
Yeah.
Just wham! Wham!
Jay is a martial artist, as am I, and the problem with martial artists is we do know how to fight, and that's, that's not what we actually want. We want staged fighting. So
Yeah.
Jay is doing an incredible job of bringing it back.
Anybody else? All right, we'll give you for the first time. But
Yeah.
And from your guys' perspective as adults within the community, what's fun about working? How do you feel about work collaborating?
I
Talk a little about that.
love the commitment and the just how brave everyone is being. This being their first play, and not an easy one to do, because as they touched on before, it does deal with very difficult topics in a comedic way, and there's a level of intelligence and also emotional intelligence that goes into telling a story like this in a way that's palatable to people who are watching. And I think that these kids are compassionate enough and brave enough and honestly hardworking enough to get this story across in a beautiful way. So that's been really great for me to see.
And just so you know, we practice 4 days a week, and we have since we started looking at the play in maybe February, right? We read it, and then in the summer session, we work 4 days a week for about a couple hours a day, and so it's a huge commitment for these guys. They come right from, those of them who have worked at Alexis comes from a camp. She's always exhausted because she deals with kids. She goes, oh my God, I just want to school. So it's a lot of work. And you didn't get to introduce yourself. Yes. And this is Azadi Knight, who plays Farah the fairy. And can you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yes, well, my name is Azadi Sage Knight. I work primarily in behavioral therapy, but I'm also a local poet and actress here on the island. I've done a few shows with CCT, and I've also partnered with Saida Carter on many occasions doing shows and things with the St. Croix Educational Complex Drama Club. I've really enjoyed working with these young people, primarily because the creativity that they showcase while we're doing the show. I don't know why I keep calling you doctor. You're just so professional to me.
Except when I'm screaming at everybody. Miss Blanchett.
Miss Blanchett is, of course, a director, but she allows them to express a lot of creative ideas and have some creative agency with their characters, and it's been really cool from the beginning seeing them just bring the characters to life. Honestly, it's been a great learning experience for me as well, being on being able to experience a bit of the other side of the things. I'm usually primarily just the actor, so I appreciate you trusting me to kind of give feedback and share my thoughts on things. And so that's been a learning experience for me as well, just knowing how to communicate what it is that could enhance the instance and communicating that effectively and also, you know, kindly. You don't want anybody to feel like you're just like beating them down and nothing they're doing is right. But just being able to meet people where they're at and kind of try to raise them up when possible. So it's been a great experience. I look forward to working with you on more opportunities.
In a play with you. You know, one of the things Azadi just mentioned, sorry for hitting you, but is, you know, everybody, we talk about those of us who do a lot of plays, you know, you can have a really bad day at work and it's like, oh, the drudgery. Not that my job is drudgery, but anyway. And then you go to theater and you can let it all go. So sometimes some students come in and they're like, they've had a really bad day and they're like, I said, in 10 minutes you're going to feel better. I go, oh yeah. And then in 10 minutes later I go, how do you feel? I feel a lot better. And there's something very important about playing other people that is fun and allows you to forget your own troubles to be somebody else. And I think that's a really important role that theater should plays, I think, in as an art form.
And as a therapy form as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there's a catharsis in like connecting with other people, which is really what acting is. Like when you step into a role, what you're doing is saying that I see you, I see this character, I see this person, and I see all of humanity, and we too can be like this. That's a big part of it.
Fantastic. So folks, mark your calendar. If you mark it from the last time I tell you, mark it again and again, and
bring a lawn chair.
Bring a lawn chair,
and
bring a blanket.
And snackies.
You know, if you want to bring a little wine and some
Yes.
grapes and crackers and want to share with a neighbor, feel
or the director
free.
after the show.
Not the wine now. I don't want anybody else. I say, you know. And definitely, if you have cheese, I tell everybody all the time, make sure you eat your cheese responsibly. I'm tired of all of these guardrails and mahogany trees getting abused because people went to eat too much cheese. It wasn't the wine, it was the cheese. Okay? But anyhow.
Also, I would also recommend bug spray if you, if you don't want things on you. Just make sure. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. We'll have a few extra cans.
Some citronella around or something, you know. Bring your own citronella, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
In that context. Well, folks, July 25th, UVI, 7 p.m. is the place to be. I know some of you don't like driving at night. It's summertime and the sun goes down later, so you got that working in your favor. But the same way you let your niece, nephew, or child help you with your phone and your computer, give them the keys and let them drive you. I won't promise you, but I have faith you will reach and get home safely. Okay. All right, and I say that one night coming up from FedEx City, storm came out of nowhere. I was not the person driving, and the person who was driving, like they couldn't see very well, and it's like I'm there, like, you know, I watching the line pass right underneath me in the side of the road. Get to the left, please. And I was saying, wow. Thinking about it after the fact, I said, you know what, actually I just tell you, why don't you pull over and let me drive. Okay, yeah, real life experience, folks. And thank goodness I'm here to talk about it.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely come out and support our UVI students as they venture into trying to entertain you and keep you from laughing too much. I don't think they're going to be successful at that, but then again, there's always room for growth in that sense. So think of it definitely as a positive. So right there, it's going to be different, folks, out on the lawn. Okay? And when last you've been to something like that? I could tell you last time I was to something like that, it was probably in Christiansted for a concert.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that in a long time, and I hope we get to the point where we get back into doing that again soon. because it's a wonderful experience to get outside in this beautiful place that we have. Yeah. And it's UVI. UVI. Your UVI, the place where the Virgin Islands students can fill out their FAFSA form and turn it in. And as long as they're willing to keep the grades up, they can go to the university. All right. Our UVI. And in the process, their fertile minds have been germinated by the influence of none other than Denise Blanchett, stepping out into this brave world of Dungeons and Dragons. All right, good thing. So,
thank you for having us.
Thank you.
it's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been my pleasure. I've had fun.
Good. Well, you'll have more fun when you go to the play.
Definitely. Jared, we going to what?
Yeah,
Let
you
me
go.
know.
You come in.
Run me a Jeep,
I'll drive the Jeep. There's another story to the Jeep, but we'll save that for the
I was
next
gonna say,
time
was
you
it
guys
him
come in.
driving?
No.
He says it would be better. I would have been better off if he drove.
Oh,
Okay? And we got a few minutes. So I'm gonna tell the story. Okay? It's okay, Jared? I'll tell the story. So we were at one of those concerts, enjoying ourselves, and so he lives down in Campo Rico. So after the concert, I'm taking him home. So just as we passed the industrial park there at the past East Airport Road and industrial park on the left, we had a blowout. Okay, so here we are on the side of the road. You know, take off the back tire, put on the tire. Even police pull up and make sure everything was all right and so forth and so on. He ain't help with changing the tire, but I'm glad to have it there. You know, but no, we didn't ask him to help, so that's not anything negative. But so we got up and we went on down the road. I drop off Jared. As usual, we probably may have talked for a minute or two, and then I'm heading up the road. So here I am saying, okay, it's dark, nobody out here, but I'm gonna be the law-abiding citizen in the left lane going up the road. And when I reach up by Williams Delight, there was the road there. You know, there's a exit lane kind of to get to going east. And there's this big tree there. And I just saw a flicker of something in my eye, and as my head turned, there was a big impact, wham! A horse ran out, ran into the car. Fortunately, his head and everything went in front of the windshield, so I'm still here. We've had people who've lost their lives because a horse ran into the vehicle. Here at St. Croix. And it was all like a dream. It just like everything happened like slow motion. Anyhow, long and short, he keeps reminding me that I should have just let him drive. And that way I would have been home and he'd have gone to Frederickstead and everything would have been fine. No horses to deal with. Okay? So anyhow. So much. Maybe we should make that into a play too.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
We could get a horse costume made up and anyhow. UVI folks, we have these minds at hard at work and how they can entertain you with Dungeons and Dragons on the 25th of July, 7 p.m. out on the lawn right in front of the main building, right there between the you can see the dormitories from where they're going to be. Right?
Yep.
So plan to be there. Bring the family. Bring the lawn chairs. Bring some Munchables. You know, because this isn't a theater. They don't have intermission like that.
Yeah.
So you make sure you bring your own stuff and enough to share a little bit with somebody who
13 and up.
Yeah, I wanted to say on the poster, it's just as you mentioned, bringing your children. It's appropriate for students for children age 13 and up.
13
and up. Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure we said
okay. Jared, I could go. All right, good. I barely made the cut off, but I
Yeah.
anyhow, good thing. It's been a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you for having
and
us.
having this discussion, and we're looking forward to this play, and hopefully this will become something that will
Oh,
be
yes.
part of the tradition at UVI.
We have other plays in mind.
Okay, good
we have,
thing.
We
Good
have
thing.
other plays in mind.
All right, we shooting for the stars. All right.
Yep,
If we
yep.
get to the moon, hey,
Yep.
we got someplace. But we shooting for the stars. All right. All right, stars. Keep on shooting.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
having
you
us.
for having us.
All
We
right,
appreciate
good
it.
thing.
We'll see you next weekend.
Next
Yes.
weekend.
Yes.
All right. Good thing. And yes, folks. This is how we do it at WSTX. Yes, we do it. Having fun every step of the way. Yes. All right. Okay, Jared, see? Your seat is here waiting for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't be like that, man.
Well, why you?
Don't be like that. Okay? You jealous guy, we're just having so much fun with these young people in here.
Well, rest me down.
Huh?
Rest me down. Yeah, my little cheetah.
Oh my goodness. Anyhow.
Can't give me stress.
No stress, Jared. No stress, Jared. And I'm going to tell you, right? I come in here with no breakfast, and Jared make sure I get something to eat. Okay, he don't take care of me. Okay, but then again, being that I am his whipping stick, so we're whipping posts so much at a time, he want to make sure that I live. So he could have one.
I wish you were my whipping post.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a see the marks on you.
You know? All right, good thing. And
Then
I shouldn't have said that 'cause I don't want Mr. Names get no ideas.
the general would say, but wait, what is Gerard doing to you?
That I behaving so? All right, so anyhow, it's
Anyway, it's
Pardon my manners, people. It's another Thursday. Good morning, Big Sis. Good morning, KJ. Good morning, St. Thomas, St. John, Christianstead, Frederickstead, Mid Island, St. Croix, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. Mr. Nibs, morning. You know, my friends up there in Texas, Houston, good morning. New York, good morning. You know, hey, Virginia, my daughter, my princess, good morning. I know you ain't listening, but I know you're there to work. So good morning anyway. You know, it's another Thursday. Somebody get paid today. I don't know who, but somebody get paid today. So all you Friday worshippers, don't get jealous. Thursday begins the weekend. That's the day you get paid. So you can start spending money tomorrow. But don't spend it all in one place. 'Cause remember, you always got next week. So, it's like I said, it's another Thursday. You're listening to WSTX AM 970, your community-minded station. The numbers are calling, although we just have a few minutes more, is 340-773-0390 or 773-0490. That's the numbers to call in to get in on the conversation. You know, you listen to Reflections, where we talk about what we want to talk about until you call in to change the conversation. What do you think about that?
well, you know, since we're going to talk conversation, folks, if you see a piece of road where people park and it have a blue paint by it, it means that that space is reserved either as a stop and drop off or as a parking spot for a person with disability that is driving or being driven by someone. Okay? No, it does not mean that someone who have a family member could just jump in the car and park in that place when that person is not with them. That's not the idea, folks.
Why not?
Okay, it's not the idea. The idea is to accommodate a person with a disability. All right? And they have folks out there that do that. Now, when I go out Lyman with Gerard, we're park in the disability parking because he is traveling with me. And I'm going to put him in the best place possible to be able to access whatever function or location that we're going to. And that's the way it should be when you drive in someone. Now, if you have a disability and you drive, just like downstairs here with the post office, they have a section there marked off in blue. And I felt a little bit guilty because somebody came to drop off something and they kind of stopped just a little bit in that area. And then but they drove right off. But somebody came right up and parked there, and that's where they were supposed to park because they were a person with a disability.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Be considerate. Be considerate. If you have to do a quick drop off of somebody and it just happened to be quick and easy to do it there, that's one thing. But don't take up the handicap parking. Don't play Russian roulette with that $1,000 fine you could get for parking there and not being authorized to park there. Now, once upon a time when I worked at the place everybody loves to hate, WAPA, I had a lady who parked distant from it because she didn't have a placard. And I say, you know, this is for you. The purpose of it is to assist someone with a disability. And as long as you can show that the person that's parking there is the person that was intended for that parking space to be for, I would cut up my eye at any policeman or anybody who said they're going to give that person a ticket. Because then it defeats the purpose of the law. Okay? in that context. Especially when it'll take some time to process getting your disability card that you hang up in the car or driving down there. I see that somebody is trying to call us here. And I have one more thing here. Good day, WSTX.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hold on a second. I got you right here, but hold on. I just want to finish my thought, okay? But, you know, them Gerard man say that I have a disability card running my mouth, okay?
My assistive technology for him is duct tape.
Anyhow. But people who don't have one should also be considerate of people who don't have a disability, as well as those who do. And this morning, I pulled up here to the right in front of the bistro, which accommodates three parked cars in front. And there was a Jeep that parks there regularly, and he parks in a way that he takes up one parking space. And we had a car come and park there this morning that literally straddles the other two. Okay, and when I came around and looked, I said, you know, it got enough space that I could shoehorn my car in, and I did that. I took before and after pictures so that it would be there if there's ever any conflict about it, that it's documented. And on top of the person parking like that, they had no license plate on the front and no license plate in the back and no temporary sticker in the window. All right? So when you're doing things like that, you shouldn't be bringing attention to yourself. Because if one of our men or women in blue had come up there at the time and it caught their attention, then you'll say you got bad luck or you got a ticket. All right? I mean, in that context, I know from COVID time, we had a lot of people driving around without license plate because places were closed. But COVID gone 3 years now. Okay, so I'm just saying all of this, and because if by example somebody else's behavior could be better the next time, all right, please, all right, and just in case anything come out of it, I got a picture of the VIN number too. Okay, so but I could drive. I didn't buy my license. I shoe hand in there and everything fit. Just be more considerate, folks. A lot of people go to the bistro, zip in and get something and zip right out. And on busy days when the rest of the parking lot is full, sometimes that's the only place you could pull in real quick to do something. All right? And I'm going to protect the bistro and the business that they're doing there because I love their corn muffins. Okay? A little bit sweet sometimes, but I like cornbread, and the corn muffins are the closest thing to cornbread in the morning. So, anyhow, that's the big secret.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you now, sir. Thank you for indulging me, host Nibs.
Yeah, man, you very good at the mouth, you know. So but Jerry, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
How is it now that doggy gets so good that he could use a shoe on to park his car? How you gonna do?
I don't know. I wanted to know how we make it, how we do that.
Yeah, anyway, I know time running and I kind of busy myself because besides having a home in Houston, I was out west taking a look to see if I could keep the water from coming close to it, but at the same time, FEMA say, no, you done there, yeah, so come back. But when they say walk, they don't pay me. That's why I never get them from FEMA. They ask them to go walk.
Well, brother, you need to stop telling people that you come to volunteer. I beginning to think that that's what it'll be, and then you want to turn around and complain afterward.
But if they walk, I come to walk.
Volunteering is walk too. But let me ask you something. Who teach you to call it George? How come it ain't Jerry or Genevieve? Why George?
Well, I don't know, but it could be George.
Call it Doug.
No. But anyhow.
You know that George Foreman named Arnie, son named George, right?
No, I didn't know that.
George.
Okay, but I asked you that question because it crossed my mind the other day. Where do these things come from? Calling it George. Anyhow, good thing. Yeah. Thanks for the call. Okay. All right, take care.
That's right.
All right, good thing. Yeah, we have these sayings, and it just be interesting to know if anybody has done a study about how these things come about. Calling it George, calling an inanimate object, a non-human object or topic, calling it George. What was it about George? Hey, George was powerful.
I tell you,
he has left his mark on this wall forever. Everybody calling it George. You got monuments to George everywhere you turn. Anyhow, so such is life, Jared. Such is life, right? That's what it'll say. Such is life. Okay, so let me see here now. All right. I really enjoyed having those folks from UVI here today, and I say that, the fact that they're doing the things that they're doing in our community as part of the community. We have to support what they're doing and encourage it. Because the bottom line is, when they're going up to get that statue, when they're having the various awards, when they're going up to get it, we're going to be the one that jump up. Yeah, Virgin Islands this, Virgin Islands strong. Da, 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 da. Hey, support them. Because that's how they get there, with your support.
That is correct.
And I want to big up the sponsors. I don't have the list. She went with the list. I have to tell her next time, make sure she leave her list so we can big up these sponsors. And definitely to big up Vika for their continuing role in supporting the arts. Definitely. All right. Good thing. So, Jared, it is Thursday, the weekend start. You got plans?
I don't make plans. I just play it by ear.
You play it by ear?
Yeah.
See, that's another one now, We play it by ear. We put the ear down to the keys and it'll play the piano.
Yep.
Play it by ear. And we could probably go on. I know somebody's probably written a book about all of these phrases and so forth and so on. Maybe I need to start searching. If somebody out there knows about this type of thing, in terms of trivia or whatever, however you want to look at it, we would be interested in having something like that as part of our conversation as we go.
You mean like how when people say, oh, I'm going to pick up my Georgie bundle and go?
You know? How the bundle get to call Georgie? See, this George thing again. George thing again, a Georgie bundle. Okay? So, is Georgie George's son? Since George Foreman...
I don't know. I go up here and that.
And the thing about it is, it's so paternalistic and I don't want to say misogynistic, but so paternalistic. Why couldn't be Georgie in a bundle?
Okay. Well, it's just like, okay, the American car, a car, the thing in front, they call it a hood, right? The English call it a bonnet. We call it a trunk in America, they call it a boot. Same English, different words.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
English. Everybody have a saying for everything.
Yeah, and it's good as a matter of conversation and humor.
Yeah, because my father was a Bajan, so I grew up calling the hood a bonnet. But then as I get older, I realize they call it a hood. So I was like, the 20s.
I have to go and dig up my recording of Errol Fabian. Errol Fabian came here to St. Croix, and he had a show at WSTX. Okay? At WSTX, I'm thinking WSTX, but he had a show at Island Center, and it was video recorded, and I had a copy of the DVD, so I got the digital aspect of it. And he was talking about some children and things we don't do with children here. He talked about a whole lot of other things I can't have on the show.
Yeah. About fluff.
The fluff and everything else.
Yeah, I just listen to you on YouTube.
The fluff, and then who on God's orders to let out a hell to bring somebody else in.
Yes.
Okay, all of that. Not to mention that apparently he has such a bad reputation when he go home that everything he tells when he get home is a lie. Anyhow, so much for
So you see, we have a death in the Senate. Well, allegedly 2, but they say just 1 right now. They say Mitch McConnell is a weekend at Bernie's, but it's what's his name? Lindsey Graham is gone. One of Trump's bootlickers. Yeah. So I don't know if the world is a better place yet for that, but
no, I wouldn't even go that far, Jared. Okay, because everybody is somebody's child.
I agree.
In that context, everybody is somebody's child. You have the thing with Mitch McConnell was very, very poorly handled, and I don't know that it's not still being poorly handled, because everybody who claim he have to say this and have to say that, if the man could talk so good, what, just take a little interview with him, and I think that's what they're running from. I sincerely believe that's what they're running from. I think they have more in this matter than a peso, and it's just supposed to come out. Okay?
They had a picture of him, sent out a picture of he and his wife.
Well, brother, and I'm just saying, as easy as it is, for as fluent as it seems that this man is able to communicate, there is something just that does not make sense from a responsible public relations perspective.
Yeah, something wrong.
That there's more in the matter than the peso.
Yeah, something wrong there. I am looking at it, and I say, yeah. The picture, they sent out, the description, I was like, yeah, it's a weekends at Bernice kind of thing it looked like to me.
Right.
But
well,
we'll
the
see.
thing is, the facial expression doesn't look like the pensive McConnell that I have seen over the years. Okay, but of course, it could be just glad to still be in this world. But I'm just saying, there's something more in the matter than the peso. But anyhow, I won't deliberate on that too much further.
Right.
From the time he basically said he was going to do everything possible to make sure that Barack Obama's term was a failure, whatever good list he could have been on with me, that they're born. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. It's not about the Barack Obama versus whoever else thing. This has got to do simply with the fact that a rising tide lifts all boats. And that's true here in the Virgin Islands. The fact of the matter is, you don't want to wish failure on the people who are supposed to be looking out for the betterment of the community.
Right.
Now, I would wish failure on people who are causing the cost of gasoline to go up, the cost of food to go up, the cost of healthcare to go up, and become less accessible, and the infrastructure not being rebuilt. So that I don't want to be driving across no bridge in the United States and it decide to give out because time run out on it. All of these things that, and then making $3 billion in profit off of being president. Something wrong. But like I said, for people have their followers. The real problem is the non-followers need to be more vocal and in a coordinated way.
Right.
Okay.
With that said,
It's
it
that
is
time.
3 minutes past the hour.
Yeah.
We have come full circle.
The marshals are away, and this mouse gonna play until she comes
I
here.
don't hear the footsteps.
You
coming.
don't hear the footsteps?
Yes.
Well, the marshals are away, and this mouse gonna play.
Okay. Well, this mouse you are going through the door. So
yeah, I know you got commitments.
I got things to do, places to go, and things to do.
Right.
So,
yeah.
but I don't hear the footsteps there, prancing somewhere around there. So she coming soon.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
well, good thing. I look forward to this day and every day. Life is such that as you look around and you see we just we lost Joe Pantine the other day, and Michael Joseph is gone.
Yep.
And every which way you turn, you see that it's just, as Brooke Benton said, a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I tell you.
If Mother Nature don't get you, Father Time will.
I tell you, I hear the marshal come in.
Okay.
He didn't believe me,
No, I believe you. I believe you. It's just that they weren't here.
Well, I hear them coming. I heard them coming. I told you.
Take advantage because they weren't here.
I heard.
I was just giving you a little extra.
I heard them coming.
see that?
I said, yeah.
Being, like, so nice and
I said the marshal coming to
showing
solve,
love, you know what I mean?
solve the
Showing
eviction.
kindness.
Okay, that's right. See, she was busy doing her random act of
I was
kindness.
doing
All right?
a random act of kindness.
No,
a
she-
focused act of kindness.
She was just doing a
Okay.
random act. Anyway.
That's what Robert was saying.
Anyway,
Oh.
people, we have reached the end of our show today. It's another Thursday. We will see you next week, Thursday, same time, same place.
I will see you next
Different
week, Thursday,
topic.
same time, same place. I know what he doing, but I gonna see
Yeah,
you.
I gonna do this one remote. Yeah, right. Yeah, good one. I can leave you here by yourself next week.
All right.
So until next week, Thursday.
All
Doug and Gerard saying peace out. Have a good one.
Stand
Enjoy
up
your
for
weekend.
the law. Stand up for decency. Stand up for compassion. Stand up for respect. Stand up for your community. Stand up for your future. Stand up for the Virgin Islands. WSTX FM 100, the soul of the Caribbean. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Dad.
You should tell people that if they want their sales to increase and their business to succeed, they should advertise on WSTX AM and FM.
That's a great idea. I got the perfect way to say it. Give me a second to organize my thoughts. Hey, everybody. If you want your sales to increase and your business to succeed, you should advertise at WSTX AM and FM.
That's pretty good, Josh.
Thanks, Dad. For more information, email us at WSTXradio@gmail.com or call us at our new number at 340-422-9789. That's 340-422-WSTX.
Grab your lights and come.
Jay's Landscaping. We do tree trimming, debris removal, small and large lot clearance, commercial and residential yard maintenance, all at